1, 2, 1, 2. Peace, world. Thank y'all for tapping in to the Klyph Notes podcast. Yo, it's been a minute since I jumped on to just talk to y'all, man. I've had some amazing episodes that have dropped recently. It's been really, really cool to have this run of live broadcasts of the Klyph Notes live podcast, or the Klyph Notes podcast live, I guess I should say. Man, these last few interviews have been really cool. I mean, I appreciate all of the interviews that I've been able to do, but it's been a real treat to be able to do these last ones with a live audience. It just makes a difference, you mean? Shout out to everybody who's come out to the live interviews, man. I appreciate y'all for real. And we got some things in the works, man. We're having conversations. Let me say that. We're having conversations. We definitely want to continue to do the live joints. We're not going to, the other ones aren't going to go away, man, because there's still a lot of great conversations to be had with a lot of great individuals, man. So if you continue to subscribe and like and comment and especially share, it goes a long way in what we're building, man. So be sure to do that on all your favorite podcast platforms. Remember, you can always hit me up, obviously on social media. That's how we communicate with one another these days, man. But you can also hit me up at the website, man. Somebody hit me on the website last night after listening to the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show, which I thought was dope, through the website. So you can always hit me on the website, and I'll get back at you. But subscribe, like, share, comment, rate, review, the whole nine, man. And let people know what we're doing here with DJ Klyph Productions and Klyph Notes. So this episode is dope. It's funny because I have been talking about doing a part 2, really doing this episode for a minute, right? Because the last time I talked to this cat was years ago. Chopped one up. And but so much has happened since we did that first interview that it was really cool to have it happen now. Coming off the release of an amazing project, Rusty Blades, after having him grace the stage at the 6th anniversary of Mic Check PDX. Just so many cool, good things, man. And the conversation was better than I could have expected. It's a really dope conversation. I know for a lot of people it's gonna go down as one of their favorite episodes of the podcast. So I'm really, really pleased and have a lot of gratitude to this cat for coming through and doing this, you know what I mean? My guy Libretto was my guest. Shout out to the Show Bar for continuing to support, you know what I mean, the live version of the Klyph Notes podcast. Libretto came through and we just had a really dope conversation. We talked about the album Rusty Blades. We talked about some of the upcoming editions. By the time you listen to this, the vinyl is available, so the pre-orders have been up, but you can still go and cop the vinyl. He talks about that. We talked about the label. We talked about so much, man. Like I said, I think this is going to be one of a lot of our favorite episodes. So that before we get into that, though, man, I just got to get y'all up on a couple things, you know what I mean? So this is releasing on the 15th of August. We are 5 days away from the beginning of PDX Hip Hop Week 2022. So on the 20th, I gotta let you know it's going down. Things are kicking off with the Get Down Old School Hip Hop Party. Is going down at the Get Down. DJ OG1, DJ Juggernaut, DJ OG2, and myself are all gonna be in the building. So that's happening. Tickets are available if you go to thegetdown.com. I think it's thegetdownpdx.com. Then there's Hip Hop Wine and Chill that's happening at Abbey Creek Winery. I don't even know if there's tickets available for that one, but you can just definitely check that out. Hip Hop Skating Party is going down on August the 23rd at Oaks Park Skating Rink. It's the first skating event associated with PDX Hip Hop Week, which is dope. A couple of other events, but then we finalizing things on the 27th with the Star Awards that's going down at the Mission Theater. It's a collaboration with the Star Awards, Mic Check, and it's a breaking competition, which is really ill. Shout out to Radadale Records and Skill Fest, a combination event that's happening on the 27th. If you go to www.pdxhiphopweek.com, all the information is right there, so you can check that out. Also, coming up next month, September, I get an opportunity to do a set with my guy DJ Ambush. We're gonna do No Requests at the White Eagle. It's a free event, so you can come through, pull up, you know what I mean? That's going down on September the 22nd. September 22nd, no requests. All right, y'all, let's get into this dope interview, this live recording of the Klyph Notes podcast with my guest, Libretto. So, once again, welcome y'all to Klyph Notes Live. Gotta give some love right quick. Can y'all make some noise for the show bar for me one time? So appreciate the show bar being our gracious host, man. It's so dope to be back here again with you folk, man. So if you've been to a Klyph Notes Live here at the show bar, normally DJ OG1 is here, and he is actually in LA tonight celebrating LA Hip Hop Day. So just a little bit of a history, man. OG1 and our friend Starchild, rest in peace, worked with the city of Portland to ultimately get proclamated Portland Hip Hop Week, which is August the 20th through the 27th this year. And to just continue to grow relationships and to celebrate this art form that we love so much, he built with artists, with the curator in LA, and is now expanded. And so what has been going on here in Portland for the last several years is now expanded to LA. And so they're going to be following the path that these men put together. And it's just really, really cool to see something that got started here in Portland now be taken to LA. So OG is in LA tonight, and they're celebrating the first LA Hip Hop Day, which is really, really dope. And it's just cool to have had that kickoff here. So OG's not here tonight, but he's here in spirit, and we're definitely celebrating that. To all of everybody who's listening, man, we had a great. Hopefully, you've been listening to. You're caught up on the episodes, man. We had a great episode last week with my friend DJ Renz, and it was really cool to have an opportunity to talk about things that are going on with him with Akepele Apparel and the new line, The Epitome of Dope. And once again, he's here tonight. So, Yo, B, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the support of Akepele Apparel for supporting the Klyph Notes podcast, man. It really means a lot because we can't do these things on our own. It's crazy. I also wanted to do this. I gotta get my phone. So I want to give some shout outs, man. I haven't done this in a minute. I haven't really taken an opportunity to look, but it's really cool. It's kind of weird, but then it's also really cool to see the reach that you have with the things that you do. So I was looking at stats, and my greatest audience for the Klyph Notes podcast is the U.S., but I got to give a shout out to folk who've been supporting. So for all my folk in India, thank you so much for checking us out. The U.K., Germany, Singapore, Spain, Brazil, Belgium, Ireland, and Canada. Those are the top 10 countries that listen to the Klyph Notes podcast. And so from right here in Portland, Oregon, I just want to let you know that I see you and I appreciate you, and continue to spread the word. Like I said, I'm trying to get in the habit of saying subscribe and rate, and subscribe, rate, like, share, like do all of the podcast stuff that you're supposed to do, and just get the word out so that we can continue to do what we do here, man. Some other announcements. I mentioned August 20th through the August the 27th is PDX Hip Hop Week. So if you're thinking about coming to Portland, it's definitely a dope time to come to Portland. August 20th is a kickoff event with the old school hip hop throwdown. I get an opportunity to MC that. DJ OG1, DJ Juggernaut, DJ OG2 will be there. So that's how we're kicking off PDX Hip Hop Week this year at the Get Down. And then there's going to be events going all through the week. I probably shouldn't do this because you're not supposed to say nothing until the ink is dry, but I'm going to say this anyway. And hopefully it actually comes to fruition. But somebody who is going to be here is Grand Wizard Theodore. And Grand Wizard Theodore is the inventor of the scratch. And he's going to be here in Portland for Portland Hip Hop Week. And we are working on having a panel discussion with Grand Wizard Theodore and some of the other artists and curators and b-boys and who are going to be there. So everyone is invited. That's going to happen possibly on the 26th. We're still trying to lock that in.
The 25th is Hip Hop Wine and Chill, which is going to be a really cool event where we get to just sit and meet and mingle and network. It's a wine tour, so if you're a connoisseur of wine, that's going down on the 25th. And then on the 26th, we're celebrating Star Child. There's another event going down at the Get Down, the Beat. The performance is going to be dope. Mighty, who has been a guest on the Klyph Notes podcast, he did one of the live Klyph Notes podcasts here at the Show Bar. And then Versatile is also going to be on that bill. So that's going down at the Get Down on the 26th. And then the 27th is the Star Awards at the Mission Theater. And that's the culmination of the week. It's going to be a collaboration with US Break-In and Mic Check, and it's going to be a crazy event with DJs and MCs and B-boys and really celebrating the culture. And once again, man, if I didn't say it, if I said it, I want to say it again. We are celebrating the anniversary of this art form that's really dear to me. It's the reason that, to be honest with you, it's the reason that I'm connected with a lot of people in this room tonight. Hip hop is we're celebrating the 49th anniversary of hip hop, and I think that deserves a rousing round of applause. Okay, that's enough of me just talking, man. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this conversation. It's funny because this is the second time that I get an opportunity to talk to this gentleman on the Klyph Notes podcast. The first time was a while ago, and man, a lot has changed since the last time we had a chance to chop it up. He's someone who I really call a friend. I don't know if he realizes the impact that he's had on me just with his journey. He was kind enough to help me celebrate the 6th year anniversary of Mic Check PDX, which is the local hip hop showcase that we do, that was founded by Star Child. He performed songs from his latest release, Rusty Blades, with producer Vitamin D. It was an amazing night, and now he's here with us at the Show Bar. So everybody here in the audience, please help me bring to the stage my friend, Libretto. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, you know, I'm blessed, man. All praise is due to the Most High God. First and foremost, before I say anything, got to give praises to the Father and His only begotten Son, Yahushua Jesus Christ. So on behalf of them, I'm here. I'm vertical. I'm doing all right.
That's what's up, bro. That's how you start an interview, bro. That's how you started off, man. So once again, man, I just want to say how much I appreciate you and you sharing your journey with me. And it's kind of crazy, as I prepare to do interviews, you know, I sort of go back and start thinking about my relationship with folk. And it's crazy how I was thinking about when we connected. I don't remember how we first connected, but you came on the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show when I was doing a show out at Mount Hood on KZME. And then our relationship has just grown, and you went through some transitions and came out of some transitions, and we've just continued to build. And I appreciate your drive to educate us all, bro, just on you know, moving through this life. I appreciate your brotherhood. So just thank you for being you, bro, for real.
No doubt, right on, bro.
You released, I'm gonna just start with it, bro. You released your latest project, Rusty Blades.
Yes, sir.
Early this year, man. And I want to talk a little bit about that project, the creation of that project, and you know, sort of where you are in your creative process as an MC. Rusty Blades is a project that's released on your label, Slum Funk Entertainment.
With Liquid Beat.
And with Liquid Beat, a collaboration project. You've done so much stuff with Liquid Beat through the years, man. I know that's your home for a lot of projects, man. But this project in particular, man, Rusty Blades. Talk to me about the writing of that process of that project first.
First and foremost, man, that album was wrote entirely in federal prison. I did a bid in federal prison, and I wrote maybe 3 songs since I was released.
Okay.
But majority of that record I wrote in prison. So it was to different beats. It was at different times I was going through stuff. fighting anxiety, watching murders, in the chow hall, just surviving in that situation. Yeah. So those rhymes are very, everything I wrote in there is some of the best writing I've ever did because I've never went through no experience like that. Yeah. So me starting in New York, getting transferred to Jersey, Oklahoma, Vegas, and then landing in Portland was a lot. You know what I mean? And so I went through a lot of stuff, seen a lot of stuff, and it just molded me, you know, to create those blades. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, it was just a lot of reading I did, a lot of studying, you know, a lot of time to myself, a lot of jumping out there, putting myself in dangerous situations, and just, you know, a lot of favor from the Most High that I was able to get out and actually put those rhymes to use. So, yeah, man, I can't really call it as far as like how me and Vitamin connected. I just kind of put rhymes to the beats, you know what I mean? And I would just form them around his music, and then I would lay it, send it to him, and he would yay or nay it. Most of the time he was yaying it, like 60% of the time, but sometimes he was like, nah, come back. So, you know, it just was a process between two artists who both respect the same kind of music. Yeah. And with him knowing what I've been through, you know, he kind of was like, and he knows people himself that who have been incarcerated. Yeah. So he was like, yeah, ain't nobody telling it like this. Mm-hmm. You know, most of the cats that he worked with, they on a different style of hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the way I was doing it was more relatable to him. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how we just, you know, the album kind of manifested in that realm.
That's what's up. It's interesting because listening. Well, let me ask you this: in your perspective as an MC, like, do you categorize yourself as a certain style of MC?
I'm just an MC, man. First, yeah. I'm all about style, charisma, voice, cadence, trying to be as creative and witty as possible. Mm-hmm. But on certain songs, you know what I'm saying, you got to just be a rapper. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I try to find a fine balance between the two. Yeah. And that's always been my journey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, with the help of my crew, Misfit Massive and Jumbo and Versatile, they helped me mold that style. Yeah. You know, without those cats, I wouldn't be sitting here now. So it's like, you know what I mean? I big up those dudes, salute my veterans, and I'm definitely an MC, man. I grew up on Freestyle Fellowship, you know what I'm saying? Souls of Mischief, Rakim, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just all the greats, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, yeah. Eazy-E, you know, so I try to embody all of that.
Yeah. It's the reason I ask is because to me, like the stuff that you've released that I've listened to me with this project, the thing that comes across is that you're a storyteller. Yeah. And I mean, it really comes across in the album. And I feel like, you know, it's funny, bro, because like I feel like I know you, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we've built through the years, we've had times to just sit and chop it up. And I listened to this album, bro, and I'm like, man, I sure am glad I met Libretto when I did. Because if I would have met Libretto back when he's talking about being on this album, woo! I mean, you tell stories, bro, like, but you do it in a way that doesn't, you know, sometimes you can tell that people are pushing a certain narrative or you know, trying to get a feels like, nah, you just telling stories, bro. So I'm glad you on this side of it.
No, what he's talking about probably is a song I know. Yeah, man. I came up in the streets. I grew up in Watts, California, in the projects, you know, and I learned how to survive poverty a lot of ways. Yeah. And I didn't have a job. Yeah. So, you know, I don't like to rap about that because it's already been done. Right. So what I do is just try to be more creative and I may drop a line about it in a rhyme or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I don't be telling whole songs about what I did in the past because it's like I don't want to get indicted, first off. Right. Second, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just it's so much of it out there. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you'll know that if you get to know me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But on this album, that's, you know, on a particular song called Never Enough, it just came out of me. You know what I'm saying? And when I laid it, Vitamin was like, bro. He was like, you sure you want to say that?
Right.
And I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just people need to know, like, I'm not just a rapper. I was always in the streets first, and rapping was just part of what I did to pass the time while we was in spots, slinging, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we would just rhyme. I've been rhyming since '86. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just something we did as kids. So
that's crazy, bro. You mentioned it a little bit when I was asking about how you categorize yourself as an MC. One of the other things that I feel like you did more on this album than I can recall hearing you do on a project is like your flow changed. Like I heard you spit on this album in ways I don't feel like I've heard you spit before, in terms of stylistically, in terms of cadence. Like we got a little bit of a lot of what you do on this project, which was really dope. We had a little bit of a conversation about this at the release, but I just want the audience to hear, man, like, was that something that you went into this project thinking? Like, what was the influence of that?
I think when I learned music theory, I was in prison and I studied music theory. I taught myself how to play the piano, somebody else taught me too, but I took the initiative to study in my cell before I even got to the yard where we had a piano. Yeah. So when I got there and I actually seen the notes and I could read the music before I knew how to play the piano, it just kind of made me look at music different. And I grew up with style junkies. Yeah. So I always knew that, you know, I could come off different ways, but I wasn't comfortable with it. Because I wanted to keep my tone. Because my people's always said, brother, you got the voice, homie. Like, maintain, keep that Big Daddy Kane, that Rakim, keep that low guru monotone flow.
That's what I'm used to,
yeah. So I was like, on this record, I was like, nah, I'm finna break out of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try some different stuff. Yeah. And if Vitamin didn't say it was whack, I was like, we rolling. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, certain songs, I just felt certain inflections, and that's what you heard. You know what I'm saying? It was like I just wanted to play around with the styles. It's like I would start out a rhyme freestyling, and whenever I'm freestyling, I would come with crazy styles. So I would record that style, capture it, and try to fit the rhyme to that style. Yeah. And that's how you got like Black Excellence when I was playing around. Yes. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is because I was like, nah, I want to style out on this one. I want to do something different. Yeah. You know, just break the mold.
Yeah. It's crazy. So now that the project has been out, the vinyl is out. The vinyl dropped just this week, I think.
It's dropping Friday, right?
It's dropping Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, I got my advanced copy. So
we need to have it, man. Matt, can you bring us some vinyl?
Oh yeah, so we got vinyl here. So Libretto has it's crazy the catalog that you have, man. Like as I mentioned, you released quite a bit of material with Liquid Beat. This is out right now. Bandcamp, Slump at Bandcamp?
Bandcamp, Liquid Beat Records, and at Fat Beats Distribution.
There it is, man. Talk to me about the artwork.
So this artwork is basically my federal prison ID. It was inspired by Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, when he had his welfare ID on the album. And I said, you know, I wanted this to be bold, in your face, out front, and there was no shame in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. It's part of my journey. Without this, I wouldn't be the man who I am right now. So it's just part of my journey. And I feel like the Most High led me through that day in New York, or that evening in New York, which led me to get gaffled up by the feds. That was all his will being done. You know what I'm saying? So when I told Matt, yo, I want to use my ID, you know, because first we was working on the cassette cover. That was going to be the main cover with sneakers. And then, you know, we was like, I said, let's do something else. And I was like, this got to be it, man. Because these rhymes, this whole album is pretty much talking about my experience in federal prison. So that's why I chose that.
That's what's up. I wanted to try to remember it. There's a song on here where we get a chance to hear.
And that doesn't have all the songs, so in case there's a song on there that you don't know. That's not on there.
Okay.
That you're talking about.
the song with you on the phone. That snippet.
Oh, the snippet. Yeah, that's what Guilty, after the Guilty. Yeah.
That
it's called that's the Guilty joint.
Yeah, that's Silent Wars.
Yes.
That was very familiar, bro.
Yeah.
Like conversations that we had.
Yeah.
It was kind of it's just how real this project is, bro. You know, it's so I'm curious now that the album is out. My question was going to be in terms of feedback from people on getting an opportunity to hear you rhyme differently, people who have had an opportunity to hear these stories. What kind of feedback have you gotten on the project thus far?
Man, for all of my dudes that I came up with in this hip hop in Portland and in LA, they like, man, all the MCs have been giving me props. You know what I'm saying? They like, Bretto, man. First dude to say something was Nuts. Nuts was like, bro, classic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know, some of my cats from Old Dominion chimed in like, bro, that thing is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I didn't care if a fan liked it or not. I could care less, homie. My peers respected it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Vitamin, he was the main one because he's a producer who produces so many artists.
Yep.
You know, and for those who don't know who Vitamin D is, he produced the theme music to Power that 50 Cent is rapping on that song. He's the producer of that track. So he got 50 Cent on his tracks. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like he told me this is different. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, this album is different than anything I've done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for us to, well, I don't want to spoil the story, but
right.
For it to come out and what we went through to have it come out,
right.
You know, for him to stick with it,
right.
It says a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I'm just blessed to have my peers like it, and then the fans, they've been loving it. You know what I'm saying? They just saying like, bro, I got it on repeat. My dude Amp Patri, he just hit me yesterday. Was like, man, I got that thing on repeat, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm so glad like you was able to, you know, connect with Vitamin. The story y'all telling is he was like, is brilliant. Yeah. He's like, there's nothing out like this.
Right.
And it's like a mastery piece of work, you know. And I take no credit, man. I give all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, man, because, you know, I'm just thankful that I was able to get out and tell the story.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think you alluded to it a little bit, and I wanna get into that if we can. The project, you guys were working on the project, and then you had to essentially like start over.
Yeah.
Which on one hand I would imagine had to be discouraging, knowing what this project was, knowing the writing that you put into this project, but then maybe also encouraging as a creative, knowing that okay, we get to go back. But tell us the story of what happened.
Yeah, so we was working on the record, and my man Vitamin D's hard drive crashed, and it wasn't. He had everything on there that he was working on from other artists, like his work that he gets paid for, that he feeds his family on. He lost all of that stuff, but the dude who got it back was able to get back our album, but the album was scattered through the whole drive. So he had to go back through all of these sessions and find pieces of music, my rhymes, everything, and kind of piece it back together like a big puzzle.
That's crazy.
And it was like almost a 2-year process. It was like a damn near a year process before we got the drive back.
Right.
Then once he got it back and he cracked it open, he was like, bro, everything is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, this is a mess.
Yeah.
So I had to relay some rhymes. I had to relay some hooks. He had to remake some beats. But, yeah, man, it was a big setback. Like, this record was done in, like, late 17, 18.
That's crazy.
It was pretty much done.
Yeah.
But that 2 years, you know, it kind of, you know, but everything, I looked at it like, man, it wasn't time.
Yeah.
The Most High's will was being done, and it wasn't ready for it to come out.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, and I feel like now what happened with me and Matt and how with Liquid Beat and how everything came together, it was time.
Yeah.
You know, because sneakers ended up falling back from the industry.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just glad that, you know, I found somebody like Liquid Beat who got the energy to keep pushing and to put something behind it and who believes in the music.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I love the way that you say that it wasn't time, because there again, I think when we listen to this record and we just look at the industry and we look at the music that's out right now and the music that's getting celebrated, that is something else that I feel listening to the record, where I can hear where different audiences of different styles of music are going to find something on this album, which I think is really, really cool. And I don't know if that was purposeful or if it was just y'all was just creating.
I just wanted to make a movie, man.
Yeah.
You know, I went into this like, this has got to be one of my dopest albums. It's got to be my comeback album.
Yeah.
Like, I was gone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I had Gangsta Jazz. Captain Crook was already done before I went in. Then that came out when I got out. Gangsta Jazz was really like that album. Gangsta Jazz 2, that's got some of my most vicious rhymes on there too. That album, man, I was like on house arrest when I recorded that album. Well, actually, I was in the halfway house. But but this album with Vitamin, like his sound, is so cinematic already.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and the way he creates. Like, I've been knowing Vitamin since the 90s. So it's like our relationship was just natural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I go to his house, I catch a train in Seattle. First thing we doing is going to the grocery store. You feel me?
Yeah, that's some brother.
We
brotherly
getting
love.
chicken, we getting salmon, we getting some greens. You know what I'm saying? We cooking. In the midst of while we cooking in this kitchen, he going to the beat machine and doing what he doing, and then I start hearing beats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Not alone, we got the Buffalo Trace. We got some good whiskey over there.
Yeah.
He's smoking 100 blunts because that's what he do. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I just start hearing stuff, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And it just happened like that, bro. It was like there was nothing forced.
Yeah.
There was nothing forced. It was like all just natural, organic, and then that's it. You got it right there, man.
That's what's up.
It wasn't like we was trying to make a song for this audience or nothing. I was like, yo, that's dope, or that sample is dope, or what key is that in? And a lot of the times we start off every record on a piano.
Okay.
So since I play and he play, like I'll come over once we done eating or whatever, or he's doing something, he'll start playing on the piano. And he'll start with something. I'm like, ooh, like what? I start testing my music theory.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, that's that C flat minor. He's like, nah, bruh. I'll be like, oh, that's that D. He's like, oh, yeah, you got it now.
Yeah.
I say, ooh, play with that. He's like, you like that?
Yeah.
And then we'll start there.
Yeah.
And then he'll find a sample or something in that key, and then he'll start working from there.
Yeah. I think I asked you this before. The intro of the album, like that piano on the intro of the album, is that Vitamin D?
That's Vitamin.
Like to start the album like that, man, he just sets a tone, bro.
Yeah.
Just sets a tone.
He's ill, man. I remember that day because we was sitting there and then he was just playing around with those drums.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. And he was like, I'm just sitting on the couch, like I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I was like, what you gonna do with that? And then he just went over to the piano and he was just playing around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he did that riff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. He's like, you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. And he goes over to the keyboard, which is recording in the thing, and then he played it, sampled it, and yeah, bro. And then that part when the police is raiding the house, that's from a documentary in Watts in the Nickerson Garden Projects. And, you know, I was just happened to be watching this documentary while he's making the beat.
Yeah.
And so when it got to that part, I was like, yo, let's use this over that. You know what I'm saying?
It fits well.
And it just
fits well.
It worked out.
When you were working on this project, was the goal always to press it up on vinyl?
I mean, everything I do, I want to press on vinyl.
Right.
But I didn't know if I was going to have the finances or the means to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, working with Liquid Beat, you know, that's one thing they're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to get some vinyl going. So, man, I definitely, once it came together, I said it had to come on vinyl. And I was mad because we didn't fit the whole record on there.
Yeah.
But for quality sound-wise, we had to delete some songs.
Yeah.
I was not in that process because I was married to the whole record.
Yeah.
But, you know, I let Vitamin and my boy Matt at Liquid Beat, make that decision on what songs to have on the record.
So this, you know what's funny is, what song is it? So I'm listening to the record, And again, like we boys, and so I know you, and I know like, bruh, when I heard Fantasy, I was like, I remember this whole situation. I remember you telling me. So for the audience, I should just ask y'all to go listen. You should listen to the record. Actually, everybody who's here should come buy a copy of the vinyl.
Indeed.
But the story is it's just a story of a young lady who you met. You know what I mean? And like, bro, you lay it all out on here, brother. Like, just very, very open and vulnerable, and again, that's throughout the entire record. Like, we talk about how you share stories of the experience that you went through with your time in federal prison, but like, this is something this was just a life thing, and listening to this, you've realized, man, so many people can relate to that. Just that vulnerability that you have on this record, I think, should be commended, because it's hip hop, right? We ain't supposed to be vulnerable. We ain't supposed to be emotional. We ain't supposed to be sentimental and all of that.
Yeah.
After the fact, recording this song and then going back and listening to it, like, was there ever a point where you was like, I don't know if I want to put that out there? You know what I mean?
The Fantasy record?
Yeah.
Nah, because she, man, I was in a fantasy, bro. She was so dope. Like, I couldn't believe I was with her.
Yeah.
And the way it happened was so crazy. Like, she basically knocked me.
Yeah.
And she's like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, when I got out, bro, I was so focused on not being with a woman, because I had went through a hard breakup in prison 2 years before I got out. So I had to eat that, swallow that, and that took me 6 months to get through.
Yeah.
And so when I got out, I said, man, I'm not messing with no women. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And so it took me 8 months before I started actually. She the one that got my confidence up.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the gym on house arrest with a big ankle bracelet on, like a garage door opener on my leg, bro. And I wasn't trying to step to no female like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then she started cracking jokes at the water fountain that day. Like, what is that on your leg? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's from Iran. So she has this strong accent, man, and she kind of made me smile. And that just started that journey, man. Yeah. And me and her was together for a year strong. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just, it didn't work out for certain reasons. I talk about on the record, she had went back home to Iran, and 12 hours difference, man. I'm falling asleep, supposed to be calling her, and she's waking up, and I'm like, yo, and she flashed on me. Yeah. And I'm not one to take criticism like the way she was giving it.
Right.
She was like calling me all type of stuff, man. And I was like, look, man, it's a wrap. But she definitely is a staple in my life forever. You know what I'm saying? And I seen her once since then. And she act like she didn't see me. She act like she didn't see me, but she seen me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, we caught eye contact, and then she kind of just like looked away.
Yeah.
I don't even think she knows she made the record.
Oh, snap.
No, she don't know, bro.
Oh, snap.
She don't know. Like,
yeah. Right. Say that.
Yeah, man. But
That's so
all
crazy.
praises for her, man, because she was like very she was fun, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fun experience.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, I don't regret it.
That's what's up. So we're talking about collaborations, and being able to do this collaboration with Slum Funk and Liquid Beat is dope. It just makes sense. Just with the history, it just makes sense, So a couple weeks ago, I had an opportunity to record an episode of Klyph Notes Live that's available everywhere you listen to audio: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, everywhere. Just go and subscribe. And I was doing an interview with DJ Renz, and I was like, yo, I saw this thing I want to ask you about. And he was like, yeah. And I didn't realize what it was. And so he actually broke the news. Well, I guess you broke it on. No, he broke the news right here on my podcast about the collaboration between Liquid Beat and Slum Funk and Acapella Apparel.
Oh, yeah.
Dope,
yeah, man.
So,
right
Can you share any more information? I mean, we talked about it, so it's out there.
I'm not tripping. If they ain't tripping, yeah, we about to so Akepele, man, big up to my man Trent and Matt at Liquid Beat. We coming with a T-shirt that's dedicated to Rusty Blades, and it's like a homage to the artwork that my boy Aaron did. which pays homage to King T. His album, his first album, Act the Fool. We reflipped that artwork for the special cover for this album.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do a T-shirt run off it, man.
So dope.
So that's
so
put up by Akepele.
Come on.
And yeah, man, this is very, very dope. I
Yeah.
can't wait for it to drop, man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I've never done nothing like this.
Yeah.
So I respect his brand.
Yep.
And I know you've been supporting it.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
He been supporting us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's
So-
how I know about it.
Yeah.
So by
Okay,
seeing
word.
you rock it and rep
Word.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, I'm like, yeah, man, I think, it was just a dope idea, man. It was all organic.
Yeah, I love it, bro.
Word.
I love it. So it's we thank you again. We had an opportunity to do the Portland album release. The vinyl is dropping. You have the collaboration coming up on the merch. The one thing that we haven't seen is we haven't seen the visuals yet.
Man, listen. We talking about that right now, man.
Yeah.
It's just been so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vitamin is going through some personal stuff in Seattle. I've been going through a lot of death here, a lot of people dying, a lot of mourning, and we have a video lined up, but we
Okay.
just haven't started production of it.
Okay.
I actually got 2 lined up.
Okay, word.
So one with my boy Sue Euros, the Yellow Flower joint. We trying to do that.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to do Never Enough.
Okay.
So, and that's going to be done in Seattle.
Okay.
And it's just life, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to contact Vitamin sometimes. And then, he knew I was going through something, with the loss of my daughter's mother.
Yeah.
And it was around that time we were supposed to link. You know what I mean? And so when that happened, he was just like, man, handle that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this music, this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now he's finally coming out of his slump. I'm not coming out of mine, but I'm willing to go to get this work done.
Yeah.
Because I told him, bro, we gotta have, this is a classic thing. We gotta have visuals for this.
Yeah.
Like mandatory.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do the video. I'm supposed to be out there next weekend, and we're gonna try to knock it out in a couple weekends, man. And hopefully we can get the editing done fast enough, before, so that it'll help push the record and give the fans something.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I personally, well, I mean, it's my podcast. I can do whatever I want, I guess. Like I said, bro, I don't know if it resonates with you, the impact that you have on people, as you share your life experience and your process. Something that I saw you, and I'll be vulnerable and say I didn't know about it, and I saw you posting about it, and I've had to do a little bit of research. I haven't really delved in probably as much as I should. But several years ago, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, I would see you post about Black August. And we're recording this on August the 11th. And I want to give you an opportunity to educate all the listeners and educate me on what that is.
I'm so glad you brought that. I was like, is he gonna bring that up? No, yeah, man. Black August is okay. So Black August, I got educated on in federal prison. I seen some brothers from the Bay working out that day on the yard, and it was in August, and they all had black armbands on their wrists, and I noticed this day that these brothers was like mad fatigued, right? So and they white around the mouth. So I'm watching them, and then when they call a move to go back to the block, I'm like, hey man, why what's up with you? Like, you ain't looking like yourself. He was like, man, you ain't knowing what it is? It's an older brother from the Bay. He from Fillmore. And he was like, it's Black August. I said, what's Black August? And he was like, you don't know about Black August? I was like, no, put me up on game. He said, when we get back to the block, I'm gonna give you some literature on it.
Yeah.
So basically I get to the block, we lock in for count, he give me the literature, and it just blew my head off, bro. Black August is basically the month of August. These brothers fast, mandatory exercise while you're fasting, studying revolutionary works of our ancestors. We don't support the government, the canteen, nothing. No loud, boisterous behavior, cursing, alcohol, drugs, nothing during the month of August. And that is all for the ancestors that came before us. Like the first slaves, so-called African captives that came here in the so-called United States, landed here in August. Harriet Tubman freed the slaves in August. The Nat Turner slave rebellion was in August. The first successful slave rebellion in the history of the world with Haiti was in August. The March on Washington was in August. W.E.B. Du Bois was born in August. Watts riots happened in August. So for the month of August, it's like painted black forever with our ancestors' blood. And it's one of the months out of all of the months where we showed the most revolutionary activity to free ourselves from this captivity. You know what I mean? So for that month of August, it shouldn't be February. It shouldn't be Black History Month. That's some government nonsense. It should be August. Because everything that happened that's revolutionary with our people since we've been captive here has been in the month of August. You got hip hop born, Cool Herc in August. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we've done as a people seems to just fall in place in August. So during that month, we just do everything I said, man. We fast and we exercise while we fast, and it just builds fortitude. It brings awareness, and it just pays homage to the ancestors, man, that came before us.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's just another example of how.
And the fasting, pardon me, the fasting is from sun up to sundown. Some fasts are 24-hour fasts. Those are flea days. Certain days where brothers got killed or brothers did heroic acts, like August 7th when John Jackson tried to free his brother John Jackson and the Soledad brothers, and he took the Marion courthouse and held the judge hostage and held the court reporter hostage. You can look it up on your phones. That's a 24-hour fast day. So certain days during the month, you fast for 24 hours. Just to add that.
No, I think that's dope. And I was just gonna say, I just so appreciate how you use your platforms, bro. You know what I'm saying? For as an artist, as an entertainer, but also as an educator. So big ups to you for that.
No doubt, all praises.
Okay, so the other thing that I should talk about that is, you know, bro, you know, people who are here in the audience and they're live witnessing the recording of the podcast, and they look at you and they look at me. Wait, how old are you?
Oh, man, come on, that's crazy, man. How old do I look?
Like, I'm gonna say 33.
Let's do it.
Okay. So there's a little bit of an age difference between No, bro.
No, I'm in my 40s, bro.
Okay.
I'm in my 40s, mid 40s. Let's say that.
So you were on your fitness game.
All praises to the
heavy,
Most High,
bro.
man.
Heavy.
Yeah.
And again have created a platform to help others on their fitness journey. Talk to me a little bit about the fitness situation.
Well, before I went to federal prison, I used to work out with my big homies. You know, they all older LA dudes who just like to lift weights and drink 40s. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got, you know, in the federal system, there was no weights. And so everything turned to body weight, right? So when you're in the feds or you're just doing time, period, you everything is like gang, association, and region.
Okay.
And so with my region, being from LA, even though I got caught up in New York, but when I got to the yard, I was around all LA dudes, and you have to be pretty much on a certain kind of time, right? They call it what time you on. So I grew up in Watts, in the projects, Jordan Downs. Those are Crips. I was on Crip time, right? So now that you're on this time, you have to be ready for war with Sureños, the Aryan nations, the any other races that, you know, don't like you.
Yeah.
And nobody likes the blacks in prison.
Yeah.
Because we're just the most dominant and we're the most deepest, so we get a lot of hate. So with that being said, if you're calling yourself on time, you have to exercise because you got to be ready for war because it could pop off anytime. And if you're not physically fit and trained to fight to the death, then you will be eliminated. Yeah. So I got on a strict workout regimen with the homies when I got there, but even surpassed them because they seen my drive and they was like, Bretto, you going back to the yard again? Because they would just go one time, you know what I'm saying? Go back to count. We go to chow, and then they kicking back with their feet up in the unit the rest of the day. Or they playing chess or checkers or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the yard to work out some more.
Yeah.
So the first 2 years, I worked out like 3 times a day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get my mind. I didn't like sitting in that unit with all these weirdos, bro. It's just, I didn't want to get in those situations, man. So I can go to the yard where situations can still happen, but I got control of them. You know, unless it's like a riot pop off, then it's racial. Because now they trying to get you just because of your race. So I used that discipline when I came home that I had in there, you know, no weights, all body weight, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, cardio, burpees, dieting real strict, 1 cheat day a week on Fridays, you know what I'm saying? And it basically just turned my body into like a furnace. You know what I'm saying? Like I can eat whatever and it'll just burn up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I came home, I stayed on the same regimen, man, and that's what keeps me grounded. Like, you know, like before I came here, I was in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get at least an hour and a half, like Mando, Monday through Friday. If I don't get that time in, then I'm feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? And I don't like to be on edge, and then I'll be looking at dudes funny, and then I just start having attitudes like I ain't got a cigarette or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's that real. Like it's really my self-care, man. Like without that, it's like recess. You know, when I was a kid, you go to recess. That's how the gym is for me. Like I can go scream, yell, make ugly faces, sweat. You know what I'm saying? Challenge these young dudes who see this gray on my face. And they get on that pull-up bar and they see me do a 20 clip. And they looking like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I've been doing this since 2010, man. Like, kick back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got me to make Bretto Chisel Fitness, which is my brand. It's an actual business where I train people to, you know, not only get fit, because it's not about the looks. You know what I'm saying? Like you brought up the looks, but it's about health. Like I tell people, I don't do this for looks. I do this for survival. This didn't start with me looking in the mirror going like this. It started with, if it pops in here, I got to be ready to kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just real. And so, you know, the looks are the benefit. You know, when you look in the mirror, when you take the shirt, because you never take the shirt off in front of people. At least I wasn't that dude. I don't think I took my shirt off one time in prison. Like I always stay covered up because that's an art of war. You want to keep your enemy guessing. You know what I'm saying? And so when I get in the cell and I take my shirt off, my cellie would be like, damn, bro, you crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, shh, put my shirt back on, put on another shirt. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that, you know, so when I got home, I just kept that same regimen, bro. And I teach people the discipline. I teach people just to have diet. It's 80% diet. It's 80% diet, 20% working out. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you eat, not eating after 7. You know what I'm saying? Not eating a bunch of dairy, a bunch of bread. You know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff. And it's just a lot of, it's 100% discipline, bro. Like you have to be disciplined in order to stay healthy and fit.
That's what's up, man. I mean, like big ups for the health and wellness, man. You know, working on the Fitness is a Habit brand.
And I expanded into yoga.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Like in prison, they was doing yoga. I was like, bro, I'm not doing that in here, bro. Like these dudes looking at me crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So when I got out, though, I finally got the heart to do it. I was like, it was all females in there. And they was looking at me like, who was this big black dude in here?
You're right.
Bro, I was like, because now that I took that, it just took me to another level. You know what I'm saying? So now when I get on that bar, I can pretty much fly. You know what I'm saying? Because my core is just crazy.
That's what's
so, yeah, man. Health and wellness, y'all.
That's what's up, B. So if people want to tap in with you and they have a desire to, because I mean, I think to me there's a common thread, right, of everything that we've discussed tonight, and that common thread is just being strong-minded. Like at the end of the day, whether we call it discipline or whether we call it, you know, the fortitude to push through the loss of the album or the strength to get through your time in federal prison, like being strong-minded is seems to be like the common thread. And if people want to figure out how can they do that, how can they tap into that, you have a platform through your fitness program. So if people want to tap in, how do they do it?
You can go to my Instagram, Bretto Chisel Fitness. Email me at BrettoChiselFitness@gmail. I also got a website. It's not complete. BrettoChiselFitness.com. Yeah, man. And just, you know, if you see me in the street or you pull up, I'm east of 82nd. So I'm at that Crunch over there on 122nd and Division. Walk in there, ask for Libretto, they're gonna know, hey, oh, that dude, yeah. I've been coming over, I've been going there since I've been out. So like everybody knows me. Like I'm grandfathered in. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody actually broke in my locker a couple of weeks ago and stole my stuff. My keys, everything, bro. So the owner of the gym, he gave me a lifetime free membership.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So
Shout out
I don't
to Crunch then.
I don't even have to pay, bro. I just go in and and I could bring somebody in with me to train for free.
Okay.
So if you want to come, anybody want to come, I could get you in for free and give you a sample. And I start off slow. I'm not crazy, because I stay on my prison workout.
Right.
So I do burpees for like an hour straight before I even work out.
That's that's amazing.
Yeah, bro. Because see, in prison, it's like here's the thing. Everything is by moves.
Yeah.
So we got an hour and a half move. Right. A move is when you go from the unit to education, to the yard, to the chapel, wherever you're going. You're locked in there for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So that's how much time we had to work out. Yeah. So I would try to get everything in, cardio, everything in that little time frame, which is what they call HIT now. Yeah. When I got out, I heard it was called HIT. Yeah. But we wasn't calling it HIT. We were just calling it, nigga, we got to go before this clock, before they call the move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to do a bunch of stuff real fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's how I work out, bro. So once I get in there, there's no talking, no socializing. Right. We here to work, sweat, and then get out of there.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. I love that. You said burpees for an hour. When we did the album release, man, you introduced me to an MC, a young man who you're mentoring, and who I learned you're working with in terms of release, and I know that you released material on Slum Funk that was your own. But correct me if I'm wrong. This will be the first artist.
First artist.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's
crazy.
Dope.
You bringing him up. He just said that. Yo, make sure you give me a shout out, man. On everything, he called me on the way here.
Word.
Bro, I can't make it. Make sure you give me a shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, first of all, man, it's funny because as moving to Portland, looking to know the scene, understand the scene, and who was doing music here, and not a best of, not a whatever, just what resonated with me, what I heard that I was like, yo, I really like that was Misfit Massive. You know what I mean? Like just really. And so you talked about Verse and Jumbo in particular, sort of taking you under their wing and doing some mentorship. And Wolverine, who I've not met yet. Like, we're connected on social, but I haven't met him yet. I know. But now you're paying that forward, right? Now you're in a position to be a mentor and to take someone and to help them find their creative voice. So talk a little bit about that and what that's going to look like.
So the artist he's talking about is called a man called Jai. He's out of Queens, New York. Actually met Jai doing my theater little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you forgot about that.
Yeah, I did.
So I was doing theater, connected with my brother Barry Hampton, rest in peace. Yeah. His daughter Akepele, she's a dancer. She's in the theater. She's just a dope creative sister, man. So I did this play called Black Sun in March of 2016. And Jai was actually around that group of people back when we were doing the rehearsals and everything. So I met the brother then, but I didn't know he rhymed.
Yeah.
So pandemic hit, we on lockdown. I had his number. I hit him up. I don't know why I hit him up, but I hit him up. I was just, we in the house all day.
Right.
So and then we were talking on the jack, and I'm like, bro, you got a dope voice. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, word? I was like, yeah, your voice is dope, man. Like, you rhyme?
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I do a little something, but I don't rhyme no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some money. Yeah. And so I was like, man, you should pull up. You know what I'm saying? And so long story short, he pulled up in the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah. He's sitting way over there. I'm sitting way over here. We both got masks on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we started building. And it was organic, bro. Like, I was just like, not consider myself a producer, you know. I know I learned how to play the piano and do all that in prison, but I was still mastering my craft on the MPC, on how to make beats. So I was making beats every day, you know, not saying they dope, not saying they whack. I was just doing it to do it, just to make sure I did something every day. He happened to hear some of the beats. And he was like, yo, you made that? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, let me get that. I was like, I thought you didn't rap.
Right.
He was like, nah, I got something for that. You know what I'm saying? And so one day, I had the beat on, and he got in a little booth, you know, and I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, bro. And I had made a booth. I just putting some stuff up in the corner of the wall. And he went back there, man, and when I heard his energy, his bounce, the voice, I was like, oh, yeah, he got it.
He's
some
nice,
dudes
bro.
just natural rappers.
He's nice, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like he has it. He don't have to really try too hard. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm really doing with him is guiding him on certain deliveries, word choice, topic choice, and stuff like that. But he pretty much like he has it, man.
That's what's up.
And so I'm just blessed that he's digging my beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel. I'm like, bro, you can have any producer out here, but the fact that you want to rock with me, all praises to the Most High. So we got an album we working on. It's called God Love Money. God period, love period, money period. Not God loves money, but God love money.
Right.
And yeah, man, we're gonna try to drop a 45 here.
Okay.
One of the singles is called Restin' Thug Face.
Okay.
And the B-side, we still trying to figure out, but I pretty much produced the entire project. Besides one joint featuring my man David Dent, Discipline. He produced the joint on it, and yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm just trying to get this dude to stay motivated. You know, because he's a young dude, young blood. So he's all over the place with his energy. And I'll be like, yo, I shouldn't have to call you to come to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. People know who you are now. You rock the mic check.
Right.
So we got to get some product out. And he's just like, he hit me today like, man, I know I've been slacking and this and that, but you know, he's trying to be an electrician right now. So he's taking these classes and he's trying to be a journeyman electrician so he can try to get him a, you know, career opportunity. And so I'm like, yo, I'm here, man. You know, but let's try to at least get this 45 out so we can get you some shows and get you out there. So yeah, be on the lookout, y'all. Man called Jai. It's gonna be on Slum Funk Entertainment, my entity, and yeah, it's gonna be dope. Just dope hip hop.
He's nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
And he's on the Theory Hazit album, so I got an album with Theory that's gonna drop, and he's on that record as well.
See, Theory, I just talked to Theory. I don't think he mentioned that
because it's been a minute, bro. The Vitamin Project surpassed all of that.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I
get
the Theory beats back way before that. But when Vitamin came and Sneakers was like, yo, here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of took the forefront.
No, I get that. One of the things that I really love about doing a live situation is it's just another opportunity to bring artists or creatives or interesting people in the same room with people who maybe see them or are fans of theirs or whatever the case may be. And we got social media and we can hit people on DM or whatever, but it's not like being in a room with somebody, you know what I mean? And so one of the things that I do with the podcast is I open the floor, you know what I'm saying? So we have some people here. If there's anyone who has a question, now I got a microphone down here. You know, I was always handing people my microphone. I got a microphone down here. So if anybody has a question for Bretto, we're gonna open up the floor and let you come up. Just grab the microphone and not only ask a question, but then also be a part of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because this is being recorded and your voice will be out. You heard, man. We Germany, India, the whole nine. So if you have a question, come up, introduce yourself, and be a part of the situation.
Anybody? There you
go.
Come
on, Eric.
For the podcast, I'm DJ Renz. I just have a quick question. Aside from the Rusty Blades project, what's the project that you've done that you hold near and dearest to your heart prior to this?
Man, it's between Illouette, my first album, and Gangsta Jazz. Illouette was probably gonna take over Gangsta Jazz too because it was my first time signing a deal.
Okay.
So I had a deal, you know what I'm saying? Like with Democ Records, Steve Aoki, heir to the Benihana throne. Dude, you know, he was digging my music, bro. And it was the first time not the first time I got money for being a rapper, but the first time like I got an album advance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so that record was made strictly at Versatile's crib in the garage, Promised Land Studios, where Spirit and Stone was recorded, everything. And it was like just it's really, they call it the first Misfit Massive album because everybody from the Massive is on that album. You got Slider Brown Hornet, you got Wolverine, you know what I'm saying? You got Jumbo, Verse, Shines, and KD is on that record. So the whole Massive is on that record. That's the only record where everybody's on. It's my first album. Yeah. So that one I would say is like my favorite record, and the next would be Gangsta Jazz 2. Yeah. Just because, you know, what we did on that thing, man, like my situation when I came home, we were, and where we recorded it at, in Dan's little practice space. It's like, bro, 100 square feet. You know what I'm saying? And we recorded the whole project in there. And damn, yeah, I think those two, bro.
Yeah,
those
just good experiences.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely.
That's dope. The
Right
Gangsta
on.
Jazz is one of my favorites too. So
Word.
That's
Right
what's
on.
up. So when did I'm gonna bring somebody else up, but when did you drop Illouette?
Illouette came out in October of 2004.
Okay, so I know I've told you this story before. It's just life is funny, B. Life is funny that like I have a friendship with you. So I'm pretty sure that this is the case. So my wife is in the audience. Shout out to my wife, Kool-Aid. Yes. We were cool. Do you remember when we went to the Rosen Theater to see Run DMC? So I'm sure it was a Run DMC show. We standing outside in line and just chopping it up. And this dude comes up to me and puts his flyer in my hand. Yo, I got this album. You got to check it out.
That was me.
That was you. That was you handing out flyers for Illouette, bro.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny that I remember that. You know what I mean? So every time I see the cover,
Yeah.
I remember getting.
Yeah,
that flyer
I
in my
got
hand.
those pressed up myself too. Cause I was like, yo, I gotta let people know this record is out.
Yeah.
I remember that, bro.
Yeah.
I was downtown crazy.
Yep.
I was young. Oh man, I miss those days, man. I miss those days, man. Right on for that.
Word up. Somebody else had a question. Yup. Mama Akepele.
Well, I just want to say that you're talking about August Black.
Black August.
Black August, I'm sorry. Wow, that was just awesome to me because February means nothing. It really doesn't. And so you brought up so many wonderful historical figures and sad figures as well. Very sad. I just appreciated that. I just want to say that.
Thank you. Thank you. All praises. Yeah, y'all should make sure to Google that, research it. Like, don't take my word. All you gotta do is Google Black August, and you're gonna see so much history and facts and things that happened in the month of August for our people.
Yeah, powerful, powerful. Someone else?
My boy E, I see you.
Come on, V.
My name's Eric. So I remember when you came back through and you were doing the, I don't even remember what they call it, but you came back in and I had heard that you were at the halfway house and you were, you somehow managed to get those cats to let you work in a studio, like your job was to go to the studio. And people were talking about that, you know, because stuff filters back through. There's telephones in prison, so we get to hear what's happening.
Right.
And everybody was excited. And I've been to that halfway house, and those people are nuts. And how did you do that?
Oh, man, my guy right here, man. Right on for that question, E. So this guy here, we was in prison together. And we were actually in the band room together. And, yeah, what he's talking about is, so it was a fight, Eric. It was a fight, bro. So when I got out, you know, I'm a criminal. That's it. That was all they see. Nigga, you just got out the feds. You're a criminal. Right. You're going to do criminal things, right? So I had a caseworker who was a sister, so-called African-American black woman. And I sat in front of her and I was like, you know, she's telling me all this stuff I need to do and this and that. I can get this 4-hour pass for hygiene and this and that. And I was like, look, I need to work. She was like, okay, well, you have to get a resume and all that. I said, no, I make music. I'm an artist. She was like, you're a rapper? You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'm an MC. I'm a vocalist. I'm a musician. Okay. I said, look, go on your computer, right? She got the computer right there. I said, just put in Libretto hip hop, right? So she puts in Libretto hip hop and all of the stuff we put out, Gangsta Jazz, the first one, Return of the Black Fist, all of this stuff's popping up, and she's like, oh, you really do rap? Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, so if you look at my PSI, your PSI is your pre-sentence report that you get in the feds. So it's like a report that the prosecution, I don't know how to explain it, but the prosecution gives like the report of your whole family history, everything you went through since you was a kid, leading up to the day you got arrested. In that report, it talks about the record deal with Denmark Records, right? So she's seen my PSI, she's seen that online, and I was like, music is part of my income. So the feds can't deny you work. That's one thing they don't. When I was on bail fighting my case, they were letting me fly back. And this dude right here, Matt, was getting me shows out here. I was on house arrest in New York. They were letting me fly to Portland to do shows. You know what I'm saying? And fly back. I just couldn't drink. I couldn't smoke. I couldn't do none of that. But they were letting me stay for like 2-3 days and fly back. So I was telling dudes, yo, book me another show. Book me another show. I remember so that. I can get out the house. That, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got out finally, all of that stuff is in my history. So she's like, I was like, I need to record. I said, I wrote over 400 songs when I was in prison. This is going to help me make money if I can get to the studio and record. All praises to the Most High. She took it to her boss, showed her boss everything, and they were reluctant. Like, they did not want to do it. And they had to, bro. Yeah. They had to. But here was the thing. I couldn't use a home studio. It had to be an actual building. Like, someplace that's not nobody's basement, nobody's garage. You know what I'm saying? And so my man Dan, Hot 16, he has a little practice space over there on Lovejoy. It's like literally like a storage room. And so I would go there and record, and they would have these accountability people pull up on me. Mm-hmm. So I would be up in there, and these dudes would pull up, and they would call me and say, hey, we need to see you. I go outside, and they're standing out there, these federal dudes. And I would have to wave at them. They see that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, crazy. I did that for 6 months, bro. That's crazy. 6 months I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was able, and everybody was sick. She said, you're the first person in the history of this halfway house that we let out to record music has a job.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Again, there's so much more to the story. There's,
you don't even know.
We're gonna have to do another part to this, man. The last thing that I want to the last thing I want to talk about just a little bit, we'll give you the opportunity to talk about, is we've talked about you being mentored. We talked about you mentoring a man called Jai, but there's someone else who I have an opportunity to see you mentoring, who's obviously learning from you, who you're training in this art of music, and that's your seed, man.
Oh yeah, my June. Yeah, my son, man. My son is 13. Yeah, that's rough because when I went to prison, my son was like 2 years old. So it was rough. It was rough. And so his grandfather, rest in peace, he was bringing him to the prison to visit me. Mm-hmm. You know, he told me, he was like, before I went in, he was like, man, I'm going to make sure your son sees you. He's like, if I'm here, you're going to see your son. Mm-hmm. He was driving up there, man, God bless the dead, man, every other weekend, bringing my son. And, so I get out. Well, while I'm in there, my son is writing me raps. He's like 6. Mm-hmm. He's mailing me these raps he wrote. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm in the cell just like crying, man, telling my cellie, we laughing, joking. Yeah. And, you know, his mother, Alice Price, she's a creative herself. Mm-hmm. She's an artist. She draws, paints. She's magnificent. Mm-hmm. So he's got just a lot of talent in him, bro. Yeah. And so now he's just this full-blown musician, producer, vocalist, arranger. He's at 13. Yeah. Like, he's crazy. Yeah. These kids they're different, bro. Yeah. Like, just like they're way faster than we was. Yeah. And so, his name he calls himself JC. He has music on Tidal, Apple Music, everything. Mm-hmm. You know, at 13. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's the one they need to be worried about. Okay. Not the next Libretto record. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We worried about him because he's been through so much. Like, when his grandfather passed, he was right there. Like, he basically was in the same house. Mm-hmm. And so he's been experiencing a lot of hardships since he's been a kid, man. Yeah. And, you know, I'm just trying to save him from the streets. You know, I'm just glad he's not out gangbanging or trying to be a Crip or a Blood or whatever, and that he's actually into Tyler, the Creator, and you know what I'm saying? That's like one of his favorite artists, you know, and I'm just trying to guide him through this hip-hop. You know what I mean? Like making sure he understands music theory. That's the first thing I taught him when I got home was his scales. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You need to know your scales. You need to know your minors, your majors, your diminished, your augmented, all of that. And he practices that stuff. You know, and so he's like, you know, he's a better version of me. That's what's up. That's all I can say, man. Like, he has the voice, but he just does that. You know, that stuff they doing now. That's not my lane. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually trying to get him some work on a podcast. My dude Seth, big up to my boy Seth in Seattle. He produced a Hit or Miss joint. Okay. He's doing a podcast on Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. My son's music is going to be the theme music for the podcast. Come on now. That's what's up, bro. You have to be proud. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I don't want my music. I hit my son. Yo, give me something. Yeah. I need the stems to this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we working that out right now. He's going to get paid. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. That's lovely, man. Like I said, man, there's so much more to the story, and but a couple of things I definitely want to put out there. Number one, this is a piece of what you do. I know that you do. I know you do licensing work. I know that you've had stuff on. Tony Hawk, Thug Underground, Law and Order. Yeah. So I was trying to think about Law and Order. So this is what you do. I want to encourage people. I was talking to Frank before we got started, man, and we were just talking about music, and I was saying how we're in a time now where so much stuff is coming at us so fast that we don't really have an opportunity to really sit with and live with stuff. And Frank made a really great point. He said that's one of the reasons that he still likes albums, because it's tangible. You can hold it in your hand. Absolutely. And so you provided this for us, right? So for everyone who's listening to this, one more time, let them know how can they get this piece of art. I mean, it's really what it is. This artwork that they can have in their homes, that they can open and play on their record players if they have them. Or cassette player. It's also available. It's also on cassette as well. Yeah. How can people get this? Liquid Beat Bandcamp page and Fat Beats. Is it Fat Beats Records, man, or just Fat Beats? Fat Beats distribution. So if you Google Fat Beats distribution, go to their website, put in Libretto and Vitamin D, it's going to pop up. And also Liquid Beat Records Bandcamp page. You can order the vinyl there, and we might send you some extra treats with it, you know, for your purchase. And it's also available digitally as well. You know, we encourage to, you know, actually buy the art, and but yeah, you can also stream it as well. That's what's up, man. And then other ways that people can support your movement, man. How can people? Man, just by, you know, visiting all of the social medias, Libretto Slump Funk on Instagram, my Facebook page, Libretto, Liquid Beat Records, Instagram, slumpfunk.com, my website, BrettoChiselFitness.com, and also do work within the community, which is my main job. Like my 9 to 5, I work with so-called African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I have a wellness organization called Leaders Become Legends. And our job is to basically work with our people who have been colonized to get them into generational wealth opportunities. And we start with mental health, and we start with, working with the mind and not just putting people in jobs, because you can always put somebody in a job, but who's to say they're going to keep it if their mind ain't there? You know what I'm saying? So we work with cognitive therapy first, mental health awareness first, and then we work on skills, development, education, knowledge of self, history, culture, and everything else, and training. Right now we're doing in solar panel installation. And we have guys, I got a whole so-called African-American crew who are installing solar panels right now in the Northwest. You know what I mean? So leadersbecomelegends.org. We take donations. We just got awarded the PCEF funding just recently, all praises to the Most High. So we will be securing a building, an actual wellness center that's going to be strictly for our people. And, we won't turn nobody away, but it's going to be for those people who came through the diaspora, whatever you want to call it, and for workforce development and getting generational wealth within our community, because we've been playing catch up for 400 years. So it's like, this is my job now, is to give back everything I learned in prison and give it to these guys so they don't make the same mistakes and actually help them get allocated in the community. So yeah, that's how y'all can support, man. I'm more than an artist. Like, I actually in the streets with these dudes, going to funerals, going to viewings, and actually going to interviews and doing all of this with these cats. So it's more than music.
That's what's up. I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you,
through
bro.
your art. Thank you for obviously what you're doing, like on the ground, making a difference with people on their life journey. And, just thank you for being my friend.
Absolutely.
what's
All
up.
praises. Salute.
One more time, y'all. Give it up for Libretto. So we do have vinyl over here. The Rusty Blaze Project vinyl is over here, but you have an opportunity to come through and look at other pieces of Bretto's catalog over there. Consider supporting the movement. One more time, a couple of shout outs, man. Can y'all make some noise for Showbar for supporting the Klyph Notes podcast, the live recordings? This has been really dope. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the podcast. It's available everywhere the podcasts are. If you're listening to this and you're going to be in Portland, this is a free event that we do here. Last time we were here, I said I was encouraging people to make a lot of noise so that this was the last live recording that we had booked. Word. And we'll still have our traditional podcast recordings, but it's you're not supposed to say stuff before it happens, but it's looking like there may be an opportunity to do more of these throughout the end of the year. So if you're a praying person, throw some prayers up, put some positive energy out, man. We want to keep providing these platforms for people, man.
And I want to shout out my man Bus Crates.
Oh yeah.
I want to shout out my boy Zoo. I want to shout out the whole Misfit Massive, man. And my judge, rest in peace, Judge Honorable Joe Patterson.
Oh, word.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about that dude the other day because this judge, man, I remember when I was scared to death when I was in the feds, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to this dude when I got indicted. And I knew he was the mafia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he was a white dude and he was just sitting there, right? So I'm crying and shit. I come in there, I got tears, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, and he put his hand on my lap and he said, it's gonna be all right. I looked at this dude like, he said, these people have been messing with my family for over 30 years. I said, oh, this dude is the mafia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then he says, who's your judge? I said, some dude named Patterson. He go, oh, he's a sweetheart. Just like that. Bro, I finally understand that dude was the one that was letting me go do these shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the DA was trying to get me to not make bail, and they were trying to tell me, oh, he's a gang member, he's this, he's that, let's deny his bail.
Yeah.
And that judge was like, why don't you come back with something other than Mr. Jackson being a gang member You know what I'm saying?
telling me
And
that,
then
yeah.
and we hit the next hearing. The prosecutor came, which was a so-called black dude,
Yeah, yeah.
but we ended up being cool. Prosecutor Bragg, never forget him.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, I can't think of nothing else, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna give Mr. Jackson bail." And then when I was out on bail, he was just showing me mad love.
Yeah.
And he passed away when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to say, I was hoping to get out and show him, like, look, I made it.
Right.
Because he told me, he was like, man, this little 60 months you're going to do, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
He would talk to me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when I had the thing with, remember the TV show? I was staying with Matt. That's why I'm pointing at him. But I had to go to do a TV. I had to finish. Volume was about to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
So the judge let me stay out to complete the contract work for the TV show.
Wow.
Bro, this is after I copped out.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen.
Right.
The marshals was right there ready to book me.
Right.
And he was like, no, you're going to get an extra 30 days to stay out. That's when I flew back. And I was out for an extra 30 days to finish that work. So all praises to the Most High for the judge, man.
Word up. Word up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Also, big ups to Akepele Apparel once again for their for continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. Shout out to those who have supported XRAY FM and the Numberz FM in Portland. Shout out to Wifey who puts up with me doing 70 million things just because I'm crazy and
she's dope.
Because she's dope. She's absolutely dope. We're gonna hang for just a little bit. I'm gonna play some records. Y'all come check out the records. Come shake some hands. Meet Libretto. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless you. Stay connected and look for the announcement for the next live recording of the Klyph Notes podcast, and come out for PDX Hip Hop Week. All right, y'all. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.